Welcome to the SVG-TV news for Saturday, October 25th. This country's government has exchanged instruments with the government of Brazil to confirm the visa-free movement of Vincentians and Brazilians, which will take effect from November 15th this year. This was announced yesterday in Parliament by Minister of Foreign Affairs Camilo Gonçalves. Gonçalves says Vincentians and Brazilians will be able to visit the respective countries for a period not exceeding 90 days in the first instance, and renewable for up to 180 days for tourism purposes. He, however, noted that for students and workers, there are still requirements which have to be fulfilled.
Sent us a document, a template that they want to start the negotiations with. We have taken a look at it. We don't find it objectionable. So we are hopeful that the negotiations will conclude and proceed fairly rapidly. But of course, you never know in the course of negotiations. And when completed, it will allow, similar to the Brazil agreement, a 90-day stay for tourism purposes, both for Vincentians visiting the 26 countries of the European Schengen zone and for Europeans visiting St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So we hope in the course of, if not this year, then certainly by early next year, to tell Vincentians that they can not only travel to Brazil and their 200 million people, but the 26 nations that enjoy the European Schengen visa requirement.
Students are being told that absenteeism will not be accepted by the Ministry of Education. Speaking this week at the handing over ceremony of Taiwanese scholarships to local students, Minister of Education Girlyn Miguel says the world of tomorrow does not have a good place for those who refuse to go to school.
Pleading with you students, I love you as my own children, and I want to see you succeed. You are here because you are trying. You are trying. And we want to say to you, try and try again, you will succeed at last. Make the good better. Make the better best. Your teachers are there as your parents, away from home. Talk to us. Don't tell me that I am afraid to talk to my teacher. Please don't be afraid. Please hold on to teacher's hand. So teacher, may I speak to you, please? Don't be afraid. Talk to your teachers. If your teachers cannot manage, they will talk to the principal. If the principal cannot manage, principal will talk to chief and deputy chief and education officers, and they will talk to me, and I will talk to ambassador. But it is just to say that it is a serious note that we cannot forget.
This weekend, the SVG Indian Foundation will be hosting a group of 5 cultural musicians who are here for the National Independence celebrations. The musicians arrived here yesterday morning and received a warm welcome at the E.T. Joshua Airport. President of the SVG Indian Foundation, Junior Bacchus, says that the foundation has been anticipating the visit of the group and that he's pleased to have them here at this time.
Today we are welcoming them here as part of our St. Vincent and the Grenadines 35th anniversary of independence. Independence, as you know, will be on Monday, the 27th of October. They are here just prior to the independence to participate in some of our cultural activities. They will first be involved with the Yulepan movement on Saturday at the Solidarity Car Park on Saturday afternoon, where they will perform to the nation, and they will be sharing for about 25 to 30 minutes the cultural moods of India. So we look forward to having them at that event.
The lone female musician of the group, Indira Naik, described their upcoming performances as authentically Indian and adds that the group has been traveling the Caribbean and so far the reception has been great. She said they are pleased to be adding something new to SVG's independence celebrations this year.
It's all going to be Hindi, but I will explain to the audience so that they would understand the meaning of the songs that I've selected. I'll be giving a variety of songs. Yes, we'll all be wearing traditional Indian clothes. I think you will like the colors that we wear. We have different aspects of Indian music, like the philosophical, the devotional, the romantic, and so we're going to, and a bit of Bollywood. I'm sure you've heard about Bollywood. Mm-hmm. So we're going to mix a concert depends what's the schedule we have, and according to the audience, we understand what they will enjoy, and we try to do our best there. Because I think it's going to be a mixed audience, so we'll want to make it easy for people to enjoy.
Meanwhile, Dr. Arnold Thomas, another executive member of the SVG Indian Foundation, says Vincentians with Indian heritage need to be re-educated on their culture, since most of them have neglected their traditions.
Yesterday was Diwali. We talked about the Festival of Lights. We don't know anything about that in St. Vincent. We gave it up. The language, we gave it up. And so many things we gave up. And we know why they were given up. And it all had to do with survival at the time in St. Vincent. But these are things we felt should be revived and should be kept alive.
Foundation President Junior Bacchus says the foundation is making steps towards revitalizing the Indian culture in SVG.
We are discussing with our good friend Kangal in Trinidad and the Indian community there some program that we could share. But people like us liberties at most of our events will share prayers in Hindi and explain a few things in Hindi. So it's not that we want to go back to the Indian language per se, but we want to understand and appreciate it. It's for appreciation mainly.
18 of this country's beekeepers are now more knowledgeable on the chalk brood disease after attending a one-day training workshop here earlier this week. Chalk brood is a fungal disease of the honeybee brood that infects the gut of the larva. It is caused by a spore-forming fungus called Ascosphaera apis, and that is consumed along with larval food. Facilitator of the workshop, Apicultural Officer in the Ministry of Agriculture, Allan Williams, explains that the fungal disease has existed in St. Vincent for well over 10 years. He notes that while honeybees have natural methods of effectively controlling the disease, it was important that beekeepers understand how to identify it and distinguish it from the foul brood disease. According to Williams, the main objective of this week's workshop was to equip the local beekeepers with the knowledge and training, and to be able to identify the infection and devise ways of controlling it.
The identification and the control of the chalk brood disease. And it's an important disease because it had affected most beekeepers in St. Vincent and Grenadines for the past 9 months. And we are here to show the beekeepers hands-on demonstration on how they can identify the disease, and we give them practical technical advice on how they can control the chalk brood disease. And I believe that the beekeepers have received very well, and from my observation, you see beekeepers clearly identifying the chalk brood. We bring specimens, and they are now confident that they can go back to their apiary and identify this problem, and they are able now to even mitigate and control the disease.
Meanwhile, one beekeeper, Beverly Reddock, says she's looking forward to improving her hives with the information gained.
Very important for us to have these workshops because we can identify different things happening that are negative to our hives. So this is another disease that we are learning about, and we'll now be able to go back to our hives and make checks and make sure we don't have this disease, and if we have it, we also learn how we would be able to deal with it.
Chalk brood is frequently seen in late spring when colonies are expanding rapidly and often disappears spontaneously as the summer temperatures rise. On Friday morning, Kai Berg, a 31-year-old holder of both German and Polish passports, was ordered by Magistrate Carla James to be deported out of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The court order came after he appeared on Tuesday this week and pleaded guilty to the charge of illegally entering the state without the consent of the immigration authority. Reports are that on April 10th this year, Berg anchored his boat at Cumberland Bay. After being there for several months, he aroused the suspicion of customs officials who boarded the boat and made checks. Berg told the officials that he was unable to check with them because he encountered mechanical problems. In other court news, Ivan Watson and Clifford Hooper, both from Petty Bodell, have been jointly charged for possession of a controlled drug. They were intercepted with almost 8,000 grams of marijuana at the Calliaqua Jetty on Wednesday this week. Reports are that on that day, police acted on a tip-off and went to the jetty. On recognizing the presence of the police, the defendants threw the drugs overboard, but they were retrieved. When they appeared in court on Friday, a 1-year suspended sentence was imposed on both men. and the boat, which is estimated to cost approximately 12,000 EC dollars, was also ordered to be confiscated.